The empath's quiet exit is the most brutal revenge, and Carl Jung understood exactly why it destroys the people who exploited their kindness. It's not screaming, not confrontation, not dramatic scenes. It's something far more devastating: complete withdrawal. When someone who gave everything simply disappears into silence, Jung discovered it forces others to confront a truth they've been avoiding. They were never loving you, they were using you. Picture this moment. You've spent years being the emotional backbone for everyone around you, the one who listens without judgment, who soothes without complaint, who gives without keeping score. You've absorbed their anger, their pain, their dysfunction, until your own soul feels foreign to you. But something shifts, not with anger or drama, with quiet certainty. You stop explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for having needs. Most devastatingly of all, you stop being available for their emotional emergencies. Jung called this transformation the withdrawal of projections, and he understood why it feels like psychological warfare to those who benefited from your endless giving. But here's what Jung discovered that changes everything about how we understand highly sensitive people. What we now call empaths, Jung described as individuals with what he termed innate sensitiveness, a heightened capacity for psychological perception that makes them natural repositories for others' unconscious material. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." But for the highly sensitive person, this unconscious direction comes from others' emotions rather than their own inner guidance. They absorb others' irritation as their responsibility to heal instead of developing conscious awareness of their own psychological patterns. Jung observed this pattern repeatedly in his clinical practice. Sensitive individuals become what I call psychological containers, unconsciously carrying the emotional content that others can't bear to face. They develop what Jung called a porous ego boundary, making them exceptionally good at feeling what others feel, but terrible at distinguishing between their own emotions and absorbed ones. This creates what Jung understood as the helper's dilemma. The more you help others avoid their psychological work, the more dependent they become on your emotional labor. You become not a person to them, but a function. Jung discovered that these relationships operate on what I call the unconscious contract of codependence. The sensitive person agrees to carry the emotional burden, while others agree to provide conditional acceptance in return.